and welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and I have been sharing my health, wellness, fitness, and weight loss journey here on YouTube since April of 2020. Now that journey also includes a bariatric procedure called vertical sleeve gastrectomy, or VSG for short, that I had at Blossom Bariatrics in August of 2022. So I'm just 2 years post-op, but I continue to share all of the things that I learn and have learned along this crazy, wild journey. Now, if you're new here, which I would love it if you went ahead and subscribed, I have been participating in a challenge I gave myself called the Last 10 Pounds Challenge. At the time I started this challenge, I weighed about 155 pounds and had been fluctuating pretty consistently between 150 and 155. The goal of the challenge was to try and lose the proverbial last 10 pounds and get down to my surgeon's goal weight of 145 pounds. So each week I've been sharing the progress, or as the reality of it is, the lack thereof. I've gone the complete opposite. We are now in week 10 of the challenge, which means there's only 2 weeks left. And so it's Sunday. I have got a lot to report back to you this week because I have finally, what it feels like, maybe, kinda, sorta, coming out of this funk that I've been in the last few weeks. I'm actually going to start off with my weigh-in. Again, I did this last week. I normally save my weigh-in for the end, but I'm really happy to report that I am back in the 150s. This morning I weighed in at 159 after several weeks of weighing in at 161. I don't know what it was about weighing in the 160s that really bugged me. I think I've always kind of wanted to stay around the 150 to 155 range, so I am happy that the scale is moving back in the direction that I have intended it to this entire time. The closer I get to the end of this challenge, the more that I realize that my reality check is probably that my body wants to be around 155. And so I think at the end, and granted we still have 2 weeks left, I'm really going to reflect and kind of decide, am I ready to just seriously maintain a weight of 155 pounds? Or should I still continue to strive for that 145? Something I have said many times, especially over the last year since I really reached what I consider to be my low weight, happy weight of 155, is that it would be nice to get down to 145 just to say that I did it, but I don't really have any emotional attachment to that number. It's just a number on the scale at this point. I still feel like I look really good, even over the last couple weeks where I was like, oh, I'm gaining. I still felt like I looked really good, so I really can't complain too much. It just would be nice to reach that 145 pounds. So this week was a really good week. I want to kind of just recap what I did differently, which actually wasn't much, but it was enough to make a difference. I don't know if you can hear that flute in the background. My daughter is part of the youth symphony for our city, so she is practicing right now. So you might hear some toots from the flutes in the background. I apologize for that, but I'm not going to interrupt her practice. As I mentioned in my last video, I did decide to start going to therapy again. It had been a very long time since I actually talked to a professional about my mental health. When I noticed that I was really struggling with my eating habits and really struggling with managing my stress, I kind of figured that I really should try to nip this in the bud and just talk to somebody. I had my first session on Friday and that went really well. I actually got very emotional in that very first session. So there's definitely some things in my life that I just need to unpack and deal with. One of the most profound things that was said though is something I want to share with you. My therapist does believe that I have general anxiety disorder as well as some depression going on. And while I'm not at a point where I feel like I need medication to manage it, he asked me to grab something that was in my general vicinity where I was sitting to take the call. And so I grabbed this package of notebooks. And he said, what if I told you that you are going to keep that package of notebooks with you in your hands all day long? You can't do anything else without having this package of notebooks in your hand. And I was like, well, that'd be impossible. How would I shower or cook dinner? He's like, well, you could hold it out in the shower, right? So it doesn't get wet. He's like, you could tuck it under your arms while you're cooking dinner. So it just has to be with you all the time. And I said, okay, well, I guess when I think of it like that, I guess I could do it. I guess it's not totally impossible. And he said, well, it's the same thing with anxiety and depression. It's there, acknowledge it's there, but you still have to do the things that you need to do while it's with you. And I don't know, that was very eye-opening for me. Maybe it's kind of goofy and kind of obvious, but for me, I was just like, huh. And what was really nice was it aligned with what I was talking about in my last video where I said, I need to stop just making excuses and just do the things, right? Literally, just do the things. And so now I have kind of this like eye-opening moment here where I can say, you know what? I can do these things, even though I'm not feeling amazing. I can go do these things. I can go to the gym. I can go for walks. I can play with the dogs. I can. It's not as easy as it sounds. I completely acknowledge that, but it's also not impossible. The other thing that he suggested was taking a few minutes each day to practice mindfulness, really just being in the moment. If you have something in your hand, pay attention to how that thing that's in your hand really feels. What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you see? And just really taking in and being in the moment. That's really to help with the anxiety and worries that I have been experiencing. So overall, I feel like that went really good. I'm going to be going to these sessions bi-weekly for the time being. I have some nonsense to straighten out with my insurance. It's supposed to be 100% covered, but they accidentally billed me the full amount. So that was kind of upsetting because I had this great session and then I got billed for it. So I was like, I don't have $85 just laying around because I thought it was a covered thing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The other thing I was really good about was not late night snacking, which was a huge accomplishment for me because that has been the crux of my existence over the last couple weeks. I don't think that's the right turn of phrase, but we're just going to roll with it. There were a couple things that I did differently. When I food shopped last week, I only bought food for meals, things that you could make meals from, no like little snacky things. If you couldn't make a meal from it, it wasn't going in the shopping cart. The other thing I did was I switched back to grocery delivery. And I'm going to tell you why. When I go into the supermarket, there is a way higher chance of me buying things that are not on my list, buying things that look appealing to me at the moment, buying things that are not smart choices. There's something about just having it online in the shopping cart where you can add or delete that really makes you sit and think twice about A, what you're spending, and B, the quality of the food that you're buying. So I'm switching back to that for that purpose. And that actually worked really well. I didn't buy any junky stuff. I stuck to pretty much the main things that I need to make for meals and healthier snacks. I like going to the grocery store because it gets me out of the house. I work from home. I don't really go out very much. So going to the grocery store was like a thing to do. But there's really not a need for me to go to the grocery store as frequently as I was and buying the junk food that I really just don't need to have in the house. My activity levels were also really good this week. I was able to get into the gym. I think I went to the gym 2 times this week. Yeah, I definitely did. I went Sunday and I went Tuesday. And then Thursday, I did not go to the gym, but I did take I think it was like a 50-minute walk. It was so nice out. The weather is improving here too, which also helps things. When it's not 100 degrees feeling like 110, it's a lot more motivating to go outside and get outdoors and get some fresh air. So I am definitely looking forward to the cooler weather coming back, rolling back in. Maybe not cold, but cool, maybe in the 70s, right? That would be very, very nice. I definitely started feeling more myself this week. I don't know if there was something magical that I did. I mean, work was still just as stressful as it has been for the last couple of months. But overall, I started to feel more normal. I started to feel like I can accomplish things. And I think that's only going to get better over the next couple of weeks. So while I'm not completely throwing in the towel on the challenge, at least if I get back down to where I started, I'll feel pretty good about that. This is the time where you need to go down to the comments. If you're participating in the challenge, let me know how it's going for you. You guys have been so inspiring. I'm just amazed with how much progress some of you had made. Big shout out to Robin, who just crushed their goal. Incredible. And a lot of you too have really been staying focused and staying the course and working through struggles too. And I think that's something worth celebrating. So again, be sure, let me know in the comments below. And if you're not participating this week, I would like you to leave me the yellow emoji of your choice. I appreciate you so much for watching this video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps the channel a lot, which I truly appreciate. Be sure to share the video with your friends and keep coming back each week to check in with me. I think this has been a really eye-opening challenge and a really good experience to share, just to show that, you know, it's not always rainbows and sunshine on a weight loss journey. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.